the show Follow Alana, we're fairly notorious for doing all kinds of adventures, but today we're going to do a very different activity. In fact, it's something that we've never done on the show before, and the only clue that I'm going to give you is the drawing behind me. So can you take a couple guesses what we'll be doing? No? Follow me? I am Alana. I was born profoundly deaf, but that doesn't stop me from trying new adventures. I enjoy exploring the mountains, forest, and ocean. I also treasure learning how to protect animals with love. Join me as I discover more wonders in Taiwan. Follow me! So I'm here with Asher the Explorer, and he specializes in finding undiscovered waterfalls in Taiwan. In fact, I just learned from you that there's actually around 500,000 that we don't know much about. So today you're actually going to show us quite a special activity. You're going to show us how to make our own spa in the wild. So some of us might be wondering, why do you prefer to go through this process of making your own spa, hot spring, rather than going to a natural hot spring outdoors?
Well, I love this DIY stuff and building my own things. But also, hot springs aren't necessarily that convenient. But this, we can build it anywhere. We can just drive up here, we can put our tents or whatever if we want to camp. First thing we're going to need is the heat exchanger. And that's what comes from the gas heater in your house. And then we'll need hoses, 2 small hoses to go from the heat exchanger into the pool. And then we'll need a small pump, call it a bilge pump. It's actually for pumping fuel to the engine of a boat, but we can use it to circulate the water because it's very low power and it will go continuously. There's 2 ways we can control the heat. One is the size of the fire, and another is the speed of the water going through it. The pool takes a long time to fill though, so we're going to use a high-powered pump for that. So we'll just stick a pump in the river and it'll fill up the pool very fast. So the bilge pump is the small one, and then we need a big pump. And also, of course, we're going to need some firewood. We'll scavenge around the river and see what we can find. Yeah.
Anything else?
Yes, one more thing. We need an air pump. So we can take an air pump and attach a steel pipe to it, and we'll just stick the steel pipe into the fire, and we'll put the air pump on the end, and that'll blow it into the bottom of the fire, and we can also control the heat that way.
So it seems like we know what supplies we need, so now we should probably go shopping.
All right, let's go. I think we made a wrong turn.
So cool.
So, I guess that's me. That's Alana.
Do you need to check the size or anything? The size is
I think it's kind of,
70.
yeah, so one of us could lie down.
Okay, let's go. Make the spa.
All right.
I know, this is a unicorn.
Lobster.
Huh?
A lobster.
That's so cute. Today we are going to experience bumper tubing on water with some of the adorable animals Asher has.
Safe, dangerous, dangerous.
Safe.
Like this one it's very hard to stay stable.
Okay, that's gonna be yours.
Yeah, this one is also a little bit difficult because it's too small. This one is very stable, right? It's wide.
Yeah.
So what you want to do on this one is just kind of sit in the middle. You can relax. If it turns around and you start going backwards, don't
That's
freak
fine.
out. Just relax. You'll eventually turn around again, okay?
Yeah.
And don't make sudden move, you know? Just let the river do its own thing. And if you want to purposely stop, go like this, and then just stand up and grab this.
This one is gonna be me. You have to give it names or I will, and I'm horrible at
Really? I was gonna call this one Peggy because,
Peggy?
yeah, because for the longest time I thought it was a Pegasus, you know, like the flying one, but it doesn't, it's just a unicorn.
Okay, let's go. I managed to sneak away with the unicorn, partly because of my difficulties with balance, but also because it was the most magical creature. In the beginning, we struggled and flipped over several times, but soon got the hang of it. At first, and we were quite nervous about safety, but as time went on, we learned to trust the water, we learned to trust our devices and learned how to navigate it a little bit, so we realized it wasn't as dangerous as we thought. Let's go!
Let the unicorn go its own way. You don't need to control it. Don't fall off. Oh, you want to hold
I
on?
don't even know how to do it.
Okay, you ready? Let it go! Let it go!
Quite an adventure.
Yeah, how was your first ride on a unicorn?
That was my first unicorn ride.
Yeah.
And that was my first time seeing a lobster this size. Somebody
Oh yeah,
riding a lobster.
they get big in Mauling.
Well, it was my first time being able to do this kind of activity in Taiwan, but you've done this many times, right?
Yeah, this is my hobby. I love the rivers. I just love going out and swimming and being out in nature. It really makes me feel like alive and also part of the larger world as a whole. And I'm so glad you're able to come and experience this with me.
Do we have other adventures we can do?
Yeah, there's a waterfall nearby. Let's go check it out.
Ooh.
And you can we can tiao shui.
Yes, can we bring the unicorn?
Yeah, we can. Why not?
Let's go.
All right, let's go.
I'm like a dog trying to take my stick.
Not yet. First, we're gonna go check out this waterfall. Well, the waterfall used to be right here, but now, since it's the winter, it's a little bit drier, or a lot drier. This river has a much smaller basin than the other rivers around here, so it's easier to be dry. And actually the opposite of that is during the typhoon season, when all the other waterfalls are too big to go to, this one's actually smaller because the water runs out really fast. So it's very nice to have this one in the summertime. Right now though, it's too dry, so we can go to another one that's really close. This one is Mauling Valley Waterfall, and we already know that there's water there because that's the river. So we know there's gonna be water. So this path here, it got damaged and it was only opened a few weeks ago, like in the middle of December.
So last time you came here was not your first, this is
I've been here so many times. I love this place.
Asher has loved nature since childhood. No matter how busy he is, he always manages to spend time in nature. He loves to travel and explore. Big tour.
We're here.
So we saw
We're going
that.
there. We saw that. We saw that. We did not see that. We did not see that. This is the waterfall. We're about halfway there. And one thing that's really special about this waterfall is that the water is really clear.
Okay.
So, you know, little fish swimming around, you can just see them like through the water. And also, we can swim behind it. It's not a cave, but there's an air pocket. So you can have the water falling down in front of you.
Beautiful.
And the water just drowns out everything. Like you can't see anything, you can't hear anything. You just have like the white and the...
secluded in
Yeah,
a
it's like a total
atmosphere.
immersion kind of place. It's really relaxing. I really enjoy it.
Asher told me that he likes to find undiscovered waterfalls using satellite imagery. He's identified over 250 waterfalls in Taiwan alone. Wow.
There it is.
So where's the little air pocket that you would... Oh, the water
Behind the
flowing.
water. So if they'll let us, we can go take that down.
So you take the rope and you go down and you see the water.
Yeah,
you were talking about a little pocket.
So now the water's actually, it's a bit smaller.
drier.
So now the pocket's just like as big as your head. But when there's a lot of water, you can put like 4 people back there.
So the pocket's visible now is what you're saying.
Yeah, it goes used to cover the whole thing in the summertime.
I'm just curious to know, because your specialty lies, your focus is in discovering waterfalls. How many would you say that you've found in Taiwan?
What do you mean I found? Ones that don't have names, or?
Discovered the ones that weren't on the map before, that you named.
Okay, I've added about 100 to the map. In order for me to add it to a map, it needs a name. So then I'll come up with something, or I'll ask people.
Right. Would you, because even though you're such a great explorer, you're still one person.
Yeah.
So do you have any kind of source management where you can have other people also help in the process of discovering
That would be nice. I haven't set that up because that's actually like a technical thing, right? To build some kind of an online system for people to do that. I think that would be very nice. It's a great idea. Maybe in the future it's something that I can do.
Good.
So now that it's getting a bit darker and the weather's colder, then we can go make
an extra layer.
Yeah,
Good.
so now our DIY spa is going to be really nice. We can go do that.
Perfect.
Exciting.
One main way to use it.
Well, yeah, well, I'm saying you lean back and you put your whole weight on it.
Right.
Yeah. Got it.
Woo.
All right.
Now we are going to build the outdoor spa. We are using fire, water, a heat exchanger, a pump, and an inflatable pool. But as you can see, it's getting dark pretty quickly. Can we finish in time?
The big pump will fill it very fast. Right. And now we have this very small pump here, see? Yeah. So this very small pump, it's moving the water very slowly. And the purpose of that is we want it to circulate and heat up. So if it's moving too fast, that wouldn't happen.
And then that is going this way.
Yeah, so this is the pipe going out of the pool. This has the pump attached to it. And it goes into the heat exchanger, which is under the fire, and it gets wrapped around in there, and there's a lot of...
that's why it's got the...
Yeah.
Oh, you can do that.
Yeah, and there's a lot of...
So it needs time.
Yeah, and there's a lot of, like, metal in there that absorbs the heat and transfers it to the water. Exactly. And then, so we have another pipe going out. And so this continues to circulate the water. So every time the water goes through, it gains like 10, 15 degrees. Yeah, it gets hotter and hotter.
What the water, silly question, but would the water melt the plastic?
It will, so we're not allowed to get it that, we shouldn't get it that hot because actually we'll burn long before plastic melts. But we can control the thing in a few ways. One is we can just take it out, of course. But also we can make the fire bigger or smaller to make less heat. Or we can add cold water from the pool, so we'll be okay. Yeah. Making something cooler is always much easier than making it hotter, right? Okay. So it's getting pretty toasty.
Chilly. I'm ready to get in.
Let's get in. Enjoy. Yeah. I could be here all day.
Right now we're watching the temperature rise, so it's 39, getting to 40, I think.
Yeah, that's about 40. Perfect.
40, and the hot spring temperature is about 40.
The hot springs vary, so you have a few different pools. And when it's sunny out, you want like a 35. At night, you want like a 40.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is the perfect hot spring temperature. You can make your own hot spring.
Yeah, we got it right here. That's all you need. I think I'll just enjoy this a little bit longer.
I'm watching it's going to 40 now. It's getting hotter. Today was a great example of trying out a variety of water activities. We started the day by doing what Asher likes to call unicorning our way down a river stream. Then we went to see some waterfalls. Unfortunately, we didn't have time to explore them, but it's definitely an option. And finally, we concluded the day by making our very own homemade spa or as Asher calls it, DIY spa. A recurring theme that we see and follow Alana is that when you immerse yourself in nature, that leads to you caring more about the environment. And today was no different because as we were floating down the river, we saw several construction sites set up, and I wondered why, and I discovered that they were actually repairing the damage of a typhoon that happened 9 years ago. Another example is that we often see litter along the way. For example, we saw it as we were coming up the waterfall. We also saw it as we were setting up our DIY spa. So it's really good to be a part of the solution and cleaning up whenever we have the opportunity, as well as sharing the awareness with people. That's why Asher is a great role model of an explorer, because he doesn't simply come, take a photo of the place, and move on with his life. He really tries to immerse himself in the place that he's exploring, and that's definitely something we should all learn from. Do the dance.
The dance?
Yeah.
Like the I got a pool dance? We got a pool!
Hi!
这不能用啊！
看，他跳最不好的钥匙，
来把我拉住啊！
他跳疯了。
拉住！
Okay, cool. Sorry, man. 我的脚步有点不一样。对我来说是5分钟。
要。